I drink too much coffee? I don't know, maybe sometimes. Not today. I haven't had any yet. This is my first one. Good morning, everybody. Let's give it a few minutes, let some people come in, let them stroll on in. Nobody's ever on time. It takes a few minutes for people to come into the chat. But good morning to everybody. It's right now. It's a lovely morning, a little bit warm. What do you expect? It's Thailand, Southeast Asia. It's always freaking warm. I was watching a Locked Up Abroad yesterday. And, you got this girl. She's probably pushing about 250. Big girl. And she said, they asked me to go to Thailand and go on this trip. And I knew what I was doing. I knew I shouldn't do it, but I thought, I won't get caught. And so she said, as soon as I got out of the airport and went to the taxi, to get a taxi, the first thing that hit me was how hot and sticky it is, or it was. And I couldn't help but laugh, because that's what I always say, it's hot and sticky. You come to Southeast Asia, be prepared. You got to get used to the heat. You got to learn to tolerate it. But anyway, right now is a moderate 82 degrees with a high of 89 today, low of 78. The feel-like temperature, the heat index is 91. 88% humidity. Gotta outlaw that. 40% rain. So it probably will It'll rain later in the afternoon. But right now it's very nice. Today I am here at Starbucks once again, and we have 2 male barista. So sorry if you're into the nice girls who usually help me. Then you're out of luck for now. It's a Saturday, so I suspect it's going to be busier. Soy Dog Cowboy, buenos dias. Buenos dias, salati. Sabay di ruplau. That was one of the first things I learned how to say, and nobody says it. Nobody says that here. They always say sabay di mai. And the other thing was, what was that? Supap, sutri lat supap barud. Which is ladies and gentlemen. And I don't remember the rest. Supap, sutri, ladies and gentlemen. Supap barud. Anyway, those were the first words I learned. Then I learned, you better figure out how to say how much. And, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're so lovely. I learned all the important words. Well, maybe we'll get some of that rain later. I thought there was going to be a huge storm at the end of this week here, but it doesn't look like that. I mean, that's what they were saying. So today we got a whole bunch of little stuff to talk about. It's my sabbatical day. It's my sabbatical stream, where I'm not going to worry about stuff too much. I'm just going to take it easy. I'm not going to rush. None of that. And tomorrow is my sabbatical, but I don't know, I just feel strange taking any kind of sabbatical, I always got to be busy doing something. But the big news today, if you haven't already heard, is that, woohoo, in Bangkok, you are now allowed, now being November 1st, you shall be allowed to drink alcohol at restaurants and a few other places, but they haven't said anything about opening the bars yet, and quite frankly, I don't think that they will. I don't see that happening right now because they're so worried about, there being a spike and the numbers going up, and so the Thai government has deemed Bangkok, Phang, Krabi, and Phuket. They've deemed these provinces to be blue zones, which means you can start to drink. Good morning, Michael. But even as authorities prepare to ease up on some COVID rules, they are taking steps to keep anti-government protesters at bay as their reopening to international visitors approaches. See, this is what they do. Now, it's my understanding that that their constitution provides them with the right to protest. Now, it doesn't necessarily provide them with the right to gather during a pandemic or what is deemed a pandemic by the government. So I don't know how legal that is. I mean, I think there are going to be plenty of people that challenge it. They're saying that people are not allowed to protest. They're banning rallies. And they're doing this now so that when November 1st comes, which is just Monday, it's 2 days from now, and all these tourists start coming, they're not going to see any of this craziness, which, quite frankly, lately it hasn't been, I haven't seen much of it in the news. I haven't had any desire to go out and photograph it. It's really pretty mild by most standards. According to the order, the restrictions are necessary to keep the COVID-19 situation under control as the country moves ahead with its tourism reopening scheme to rehabilitate the economy and people's livelihoods. The new order replaces the September 30th announcement on the ban on mass gatherings, that really did a lot, and activities deemed at risk of spreading the virus. Yeah, I was talking to somebody last night, and I think people are sick of talking about it. People are sick of hearing about it. I know I am. But what I am not sick of seeing is that they're going to start allowing some of our freedoms back. And allowing, I mean, that's a strong word. The freedom to drink shall be... Oh, wow. The freedom to drink shall be reinstituted. But anyway, that's what we got going on right now. So how's everybody doing? How you doing? How you doing? It's a Saturday here, as I said, and really, there's not much going on, much different from yesterday, aside from, oh, well, now they're going to let people drink in restaurants and that sort of thing. But until they really allow people to come in without being tested and to just drink wherever they want. I mean, I don't mean on the streets necessarily, but I mean, you want to go into a pub and have a beer, you can go in and have a beer. And one thing that I was talking to with my buddy last night was, and he mentioned this, and he said, oh, we were just talking about how places like Thailand that are reliant on tourism, they've been closed, if it's 6 months, 8 months, 9 months you're closed, they can hang in there. They have the funds and they have the means to hang in there and stay open. But now it's been, darn near 200. See, I said darn instead of damn, and it threw me off. Darn near 2 years that all this has been going on. And a lot of places, they're out of business. They've changed, they've moved on. And like in the bars, they're going to be able to find new staff. There's always going to be somebody who needs a job, and they're going to be like, okay, whatever we got to do. But a lot of the tour agencies, and I'm telling you, I've called up in the last 2, 3 days, I probably called up 15 places, and really only 3 or 4 of them were open and functioning, and a couple were like, okay, well, maybe at the beginning of the year we're going to open up, but we're not sure yet. In the meantime, my wife is telling me and telling some other people that the numbers of hotel room nights, the hotel rooms that are being rented out, that are being, what do you call it? Not rented. See, I blank out. This is the old man syndrome. What do you call it when the guests when guests are coming to the hotels and they stay at a hotel, that the numbers are rising and more people are staying in hotels, and she's like, she told me, she goes, I'm surprised because you look at it and it's foreigner. It shows all these different countries they're coming from. And so I guess you could say that's a positive sign, you know. We'll see. I don't even know what to say about it anymore, but yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. Now, as I said, Monday is a big day. Supposedly, Suvarnabhumi is going to have 30,000 passengers arriving. Yeah, this is just at Suvarnabhumi. I don't know if that's good or not. It says here 440 commercial flights, 230 domestic and 110 international, and 100 cargo flights on Monday. It says that it has been estimated these flights take only 30% of the airport's capacity, noting that there will be about 30,000 passengers at the airport, including 7,000 from international flights. So apparently they can handle up to about 1,200 flights a day. And there are 196 common-use self-service kiosks to help passengers check in, and 42 common-use bag drops. So people will not have to worry about standing in line. Wow. Oh yeah, they're opening well, it says here, plan to bring passengers from the main terminal to the newly opened SAT-1 building, which could increase the airport's capacity to accommodate more than 30 million passengers per year. Yeah, I think it's a good idea, Andy. As I've been saying, I don't think it's a great idea just to rush into anything. And, you know, I mean, maybe that's a little harsh. I know there's people out there, they're just dying to come here. And what I was talking to with my buddy is that what we were talking about is that the infrastructure of Thailand has suffered dramatically, and it's not going to be the same, and it will take, I don't know if it's going to take years, but it will take some time to get back into the flow as it was pre-COVID. And I also think that most people, they are not running to come to Thailand right away, which even he said to me, he said, I think that the Thai government and the tourist authority has overestimated their value to people. They believe that people are just, they can't live without Thailand, they've got to be here, and I don't believe that's true. I do think that they are overestimating themselves, and I think that there are people who are like, that they can take it or leave it. You know, there are the hardcore aficionados of Southeast Asia, of Thailand, the people who they come every year, or they're planning on moving here and they come as often as they can. Sure, there are people, but I think that's the 20%, and the 80% are the people who, they couldn't care less. They're like, listen, I had a great time at Thailand. I can tell you that, like, my mother, my sister, they've been here before several times. And I can tell you, they're not saying, oh, wow, now it's open, I'm going to come visit you. It's not about me. If they wanted to travel on their own, they still wouldn't come. If they wanted to, you know, it just doesn't matter. So I think the Thai government is going to be in for a little shock. But who knows, by January, February, things might start really picking up. And, it might be slow at first. I do think it's going to pick up, but the alcohol, that'll help a little bit right now. You can drink and, you can go to a restaurant, basically. I don't know where else you could go. Let me see here if I can figure this out. Let's see here. Johnny Siam, I was beginning to wonder about you. How you going? How you going, mate? Okay, Blue Zone. Okay, yeah, it's just restaurants. That's it. Restaurants in Bangkok will be allowed to sell alcohol starting Monday. So as nice as that is, I mean, hey, I can go to a Italian restaurant, have a glass of wine, I can have a beer. It's not like I can go down to Robin Hood and have myself a Guinness. So now I don't see anything about Chonburi province. So that means for some reason, maybe they already know that everybody's already drinking there, but in Pattaya, people are technically not allowed to drink. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I haven't got it for a long time. I'm out of a loop. Let's see here. Supposedly, right now, well, that would be good. Yeah, Robin Hood's a bad example. But there are places that, they're not going to be able to open up. Doing well here. Been working on the concrete gym and clearing interest. All right, so you feel all right now. You're feeling all right. And things are getting a little bit better there in Oz. So let's see here. What is, okay. I'm trying to find it here. I see Rayon. I don't see Chonburi anywhere. I'm looking for it. Niall, what's happening? Yeah, freedom will do that. Freedom will do that to you. Make you feel better. Still trying to look here, but they got all these seating capacity. I don't know if you can see, but let me show you something. Right over here. Right over here in the corner, you see those chairs lined up. Now, that is only, I think it's 2 seats, and that's it. For some reason, they still have that closed off. And I think the reason that they have it closed off is not because they don't want to have people sit there. It's because here, you're not supposed to be sitting immediately next to other people. You have to have one, then space, one, then a space, one, which, gets a bit crazier. Yeah, I thought it was, it's not in the blue zone, so, until it is, I'm still looking here, because Chonburi. Okay, Chonburi is open to international tourists, but let me see here if I can. Maybe I'm overlooking it here. So if I can find the right page. Here we go. Orange zone, red zones. Konkan, Chonburi. It's a second. How did I overlook that? Chumpon, Chiang Rai, Chiang Mai, Chat Chung Sao, Trang, Trat, Nakhon Pathom, Nakhon Nayok, Nakhon Ratchasima, Nakhon Sawan, Nonthaburi, Pathum Thani, Prachuap Khiri Khan, Pachinburi, Ayutthaya, Patalung, Pichit, Pitsanalok, Pechbury, Phetchabun, Rayong, what is this? I think they meant Rayong, Raynong, Ratchaburi, Lopburi, Satun, Samut Prakan. Hey, we were just in Samut Prakan. Samut Songkram, Samut Sakon, Sarapburi, Sakeo, Sapanburi, Surat Thani, Angtong, Udon Thani, and Ubon Ratchathani. We'll be able to enjoy a beer while watching all kinds of sexy shenanigans going on in the general vicinity. It is a Christmas miracle. Well, yeah, I mean, that would be good. I think it's fantastic that they gotta, listen. Or don't listen. I think it's really important that people just be allowed to live. You don't need all this fatherly, brotherly, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm still not convinced that, I really am not convinced that any government is responsible for shutting down this virus. Okay, get the vaccine out there. It stifles things a little bit. It slows it down. All right, great. But open back up. What's the point of having a vaccine if you're not going to be able to open up? Learn to live with it. Gennaro, buenos dias. With all the social distancing, think of the cost savings to set up a bar or a restaurant. I think of the rising prices because there's not as many customers. And, maybe that's what Thailand wants. I mean, they do want the higher end tourists and expats and all that kind of thing. Good day, Johnny. Or as they say on Seinfeld, hello, Johnny. Oh, God. What was it that Newman had fleas in his house or something, in his apartment. And somehow he brought them into Jerry's apartment. And he goes over to Newman's house. Newman! He's banging on the door. Newman comes out and he's very, very controlled. You can see it, that he's controlling himself. And then Jerry's like, you know what you did. You brought fleas over to my... But the first thing he said was, Newman! I just love that. Hospitality industry, it's bums on seats, yes. And this is the thing. Okay, so how much is somebody who's rich going to drink versus somebody who's, an average guy who's just coming for 2 weeks and he's got $2,000 to piss away, $3,000 to piss away? I mean, what's the difference? I think they make a grave error and they alienate some of the people. I'm not talking about, I went to Kanchanaburi, and if you ever read my book, They Call Me Frong, there's a piece in there where I talk about how I nearly shit myself walking down the street. And basically, I made it to the bathroom, but I didn't really get it in the toilet. And we're going to move on from that, though. But in the place that I was staying at the time, it was called the Jolly Frog. Now I think it's the Happy Frog, or I don't know. They changed their name. It's just an inexpensive place, but it's very basic. But like they have nice grounds. You can go out and you can lay there in chairs and like look at the river, and you can go down the steps and hang out right there on the water, and there's chairs and there's places to sit. It's a pretty nice little place, but they have a restaurant, and I remember going there, and there was this girl there, and I go, man, she's not Thai. What's she doing here working? And I wasn't even thinking, she's working to pay for her room. And she tells me, well, she hears me speak Thai, and she says, how long have you been here, and what are you doing? Da, 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 da. Like, go into my whole spiel, and she says, I have to go, get my visa renewed. I have to do a visa run. That's what she said. She was going to the border, and she's like, I don't know how much it cost. It was like 1,800 baht or something. She goes, it's so expensive. And I went, really? It's that? And she's like, it should be cheaper. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, I got to pay for the van. I mean, I knew because I'd already been through it. Just not from Kanchanaburi. But she had to pay for the van. She's probably going to need a little money for food and water and stuff, plus the visa. And with the visa and everything, she was complaining about the cost of it. And I'm not going to say where she's from. I've already said that before, but I was like, son of a bitch, man. If you can't pay $50, she's staying there basically, she's working for the hotel, the guest house, to pay for her room. I swear to you, I thought she was going to jump up and kiss me and tell me she would bang me if she could spend the night in my room, because I had like the 350 baht a night room, and that was like the suite. I don't think I had fouled the bathroom at that point, but or maybe I had. I don't know. But I swear, I said, well, what are you staying at? She was paying like 80 baht a night. She had some little, like, tiny little room. And I was like, wow. Now, that's a little bit extreme. That's too much, in my opinion. You got to worry about the $50 to go out of the country to renew your visa. It's probably time to go home, really. But there are plenty of backpackers that come. They got more money than you think, and they're 22 years old, and they know they can call mom or dad and say, Mom, I need $1,000. I screwed up and spent too much money. All right, this is the last you're getting. And then they got another month, and they can get by on that $1,000. Okay. And do me a favor, guys, before I go further. Please leave a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I'd appreciate that. But leave a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. Niall says, let's keep it real. Rich people are tight fuckers. They still have their tooth fairy money. Catering to them will be a mistake. You want the 2-week millionaires. Yeah, Andy, I am not bullshitting you. And I went back there. What the hell is it called now? Let me see here. It's now the Smiley Frog. And, Jolly Frog changed location. Well, now that kind of sucks. Because they had a great location, but I'm going to give you a little link. And no, they don't sponsor my 350 baht room or whatever it is. But I stayed there. I think the last time that I went to Kanchanaburi, which was, I don't know, a year ago or something, 2 years ago. And this is when the guy came into the chat, and he was like, do you know you're on the border of Myanmar? And that was like, you're banned for being a dumb fuck. You think we don't know this? You fucking idiot. And then he proceeded to say that, I'm rude and obnoxious and foul-mouthed. And I said, well, don't ask an idiotic question in my chat. And if you don't like it, hit the fucking road. And but anyway, it was that trip. I stayed there. I was like, you know what, for old times, and it was better than it was when I had originally went there. I had a nice little room. I couldn't complain at all. And it was like, it might have been 350, 400 baht, something like that, but it wasn't much. Let me see if they got their prices up here. I don't even know. Jolly Frog changed location. So I don't know where they are or going to be. I don't know. Let's see here. Reviews. Steak is excellent. Great value and friendly service. They are very friendly. Had fish and chips. I was the only customer, but they did a great job. You know, you can't complain too much for the dough. And I remember having a chat with I think the lady was the owner. She was very nice, very pleasant, very easy place to. Anyway, so, you know, I think that Niall is correct in that you want the people who are like, you know, they come and they go, I'm going to stay here for a month and I've got $4,000 or I got $3,000 and I paid for my flight. Everything else is taken care of. And they're like, you know, if I need to, I can stay an extra week. You know, and they piss away that money. And that's it. And they'll keep coming back because they love the experience. I think, you know, the wealthier people, I think they're making such a huge mistake with that. But, you know, what I think doesn't matter, obviously. Now, the other thing is that, let's see here, we already talked about that. Yeah, Pattaya Boo's ban stays. Operators are peeved. It's from the Bangkok Post. I don't understand. Why is it that you're not allowing people to go to a restaurant in you know why? It's because they're probably going to make all the bars into, all the bars are going to start to get restaurant licenses. Well, the 2-week millionaires made everything, but, you know, back in the day, it was the R&R, the military that made the place, made Pattaya what it is. And now, of course, they don't want, it doesn't suit our image. But it's okay during wartime or after the war when you got people going there and, you know, I mean, what was that movie? Was it Full Metal Jacket? It wasn't Apocalypse Now. Or maybe it was. I think they were in Vietnam and the girl was like going, "You buku dollar." It just made me think about it. You buku dollar. You GI, you buku dollar. I couldn't stop laughing. Good morning, Carlos. What's going on? What'd it be like? I already had a little conversation with Longhorns, and I'll let you know later today when we decide to go down there, when we're going to go down, when we're going to head out. Same old, same old. What, wasn't that Apocalypse Now, though? Where the girl is like, she's on the corner and she's like, you know, I boom boom a long time. I know you GI buku dollar or something like that. Good stuff. That was such a good movie. Full Metal Jacket. Okay, well, whatever it was, they were all good movies. Good Morning Vietnam. That's another one. You know, I had thought about, like, instead, I've been just, like, putting This is Thailand. I really would like to put Good Morning Thailand, but Chucky has informed me that that would not be a good idea because people around the world, now he's thinking like a radio guy. Soul Brother Tu Buku. Yeah, that was what it was. Something like that. I can't remember, but it was funny as hell. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha said the authorities hope to be able to allow alcohol sales in restaurants and other venues nationwide from December 1st as the country gears up for the year-end festive season. That they're not going to have La Lisa. She won't be there. She won't. I talked about this yesterday. How foolish is it to say someone's coming before you even check to see if they're available? You don't even have to say, can we make a deal? You can say, we're in talks. We're in negotiations. She wasn't even available. They didn't even check. Or maybe they had to get back to her, who knows? But they shouldn't have let that out. Everybody's all excited. You know, you go by now, what is it? Dentiste, I think. That's the brand of toothpaste and toothbrush and mouthwash and stuff like that. Oral Care, I believe it's called. And I use that. I almost use that exclusively because I like it the best. And she is like holding up a big thing of toothpaste or something with a big smile on her face. And every time I walk by, I go, she is cute. You know, she's pretty cute. I was in, what is this? The amount of dumb or ignorant people I've come across is amazing. You know, my travels, people don't do their homework. I was in Bali once and some tourist asked me, do they have schools here? Andy, it's not only travel, just walking down the street. Yeah, you know, listen, I don't want to act like I'm better than the rest of the world, but I would say there's a saying, 99% of the world are idiots, and I'm damn glad I'm a minority. Remember that one. And if you look at, you know, every day, even the way that the news deals with things, especially politicians, forget about it. They think everybody is stupid, which they got a point, but they're part of the stupidity. Anyway, so let's see here. What is this? We already know about those, the people coming. So 30,000 people on Monday. It says here, Pattaya deserves to be included in a 4-province cluster where restaurants will have permission to sell alcoholic beverages to patrons, said Boon Anant Patanasin, president of the Pattaya Business and Tourism Association. He made the comment after the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration said the eateries in Bangkok, Krabi, Phang and Phuket would be the only places allowed to sell beer, wine, and the like from Monday, in line with the reopening of the country to travelers. Why would you allow all these other places to sell booze in restaurants but not Pattaya? Prime Minister, Pattaya risked losing an edge to compete with other tourism provinces, even though the city is among the leading destinations in the country for foreigners. Mr. Boon Anant said. He said COVID cases in Pattaya were fewer than Bangkok, but the alcohol ban was being lifted in the capital. The spread of the virus in Chonburi province also tended to be concentrated in factory clusters outside Pattaya. Crazy. What is this here? Pickpocket school and BJ school. It's terrible, Johnny. Oh, it's so bad. Scott, my wife and I are supposed to fly into Bangkok February 11th. What are the chances they will cancel our flight after turning 80% of the flight slips? Huh? I don't understand that last part. What are the chances they will cancel our flight? If I just was to stop right there, I would say it's probably not going to happen. However, I will add, I don't get paid to be right. I just get paid to answer. And, you know, there's always a chance that they could, but I don't think it's going to happen. You just never know, though. But I think the chances, I'll do the 80-20 again. 80% chance it's not going to happen. 20% it will. And actually, I think that 20% is more like 3%. But what do I know? Just some guy talking into a phone. An opinionated guy talking into a phone. 382 cases in Chonburi. Wow, we're going to have to all run for cover. Yeah, that's about it for Pattaya. So it's too bad because, you know, I think there are certain people that would like to see the entire bar scene done away with. And, you know, who knows, it could be some Kunying who You know, she doesn't like the fact that she knows her husband's going off to the massage parlors, you know, once a week or something. So now, as I said, the rallies are banned from November 1st because of something called Section 9 of the Emergency Decree. So that's a, you know, I mean, that just gives them free reign pretty much. They see a bunch of people gathered and they got a sign, that's it. You know, they can just throw you in jail, and you don't want to go to jail here. Yeah, there you go. What if they bring back the quarantine with thousands of tourists in the air on the way there? That's a different story. I mean, you know, could happen. Yeah, it could happen. All care is taken, but no responsibility is expected. Yeah. You know, this. I don't even know how to say it. The world is out of control, and that's why I think it's important that I keep out of U.S. politics, first of all, unless something really affects me, which nothing really does at this point. And really, I don't want to know about Thai politics aside from who's in charge and what's their mentality towards foreigners. And are they treating the Thai people well? Which, I'm not even going to go into that, but because I don't want to get in trouble. I just, you know, there are other things to deal with. Now, right now, all we have to do is think about, can we come here and have a good time and we don't have to worry about being pulled up because our paperwork is not in order. Show us the papers! The other thing that nobody has talked about, what good is allowing all these people to come in if they still have them, and I've said this 10 times already, what good is allowing all of these tourists to come in when you have a mask mandate in place? So when you're outside, everybody's got to wear their mask. Now, a lot of places, they turn the other cheek, they don't really care. And, you know, quite frankly, when I go streaming outdoors, I don't have a problem taking my mask off. If it's hot, I take my mask off. Because, you know, be realistic. I look at it that way, and I think that the Thais in general are pretty fair and reasonable. The Thai police are fair and reasonable. Now, I haven't had any problems with any. It's just my experience so far. But what about that? Who wants to come here when you still have to wear a mask to be able to go outside and even go to the beach? You know? Anybody think about that? You don't wear a mask, you don't go outside. It's another big thing. And here's something else, you know, the Prime Minister is asking for cooperation, seeks cooperation for reopening. He's asked all the public and businesses to strictly comply with disease controls and protesters not to damage the national image to ensure the country's reopening on Monday is a success. I hate to tell them this, but what people's perception is outside of Thailand is indeed important. And I think that the image they wish to portray to the outside world does not come across 100%. People have their own, I mean, one of the first things my mother said to me was, Thailand, that's where you can just do anything you want pretty much and get anything you want there. You know, and I was like, what are you gonna do? The government has prepared many appropriate measures. Everyone must follow them to the fullest extent and avoid the risk of transmission of COVID-19. Ora! The Prime Minister said mandatory quarantine would be conditionally lifted for arrivals by air from the specified countries but would remain for arrivals by land and water, and that makes it a little more difficult for people just to do a border run. Officials must be serious about regulating arrivals through other means and keeping out illegal immigrants. That, as well, is one of their big concerns. Neighboring countries will be requested to cooperate. Good luck with that. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the drugs part of it. The Prime Minister said he had announced Thailand's reopening in advance so that it would be one of the first destinations of international travelers during the high season. At the same time, he asked demonstrators to cooperate, demonstrators that are no longer allowed to gather, by protecting the national image and avoiding any action that would discourage visitors. The most important thing for the government is to let people resume their livelihoods and for supply chains of raw materials to function along with the country's reopening. Thailand was among the top countries in providing the best care for people during the COVID-19 crisis, behind only a few rich countries, he said. I don't really know if that's 100% true or not, but I believe it is. Let's see. I'm not going to go over the rules again. Too many rules. Sadly, I don't see myself returning for a long time. Life seems to be on hold. Well, yeah, in some ways it's on hold, but there is, I would dare say that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You can see that light now. And it still might be a long ways off, but you can see a little bit of light. It's getting brighter. Things are getting a little bit better here. And I think that's all we can ask for at the moment. I mean, if they really want to be safe, and this really was something that they were worried about, they're doing what they need to do right now. Although I still think at this point we should just open up, maybe not to I don't know. I don't want to say this. I don't want to say it. I was going to say maybe not to some people. Yeah, I mean maybe that's the best way to put it. I don't think they should open up to everybody, but for people who they deem to be safe, who are vaccinated from other countries that they view as low risk, let them in, and you don't have any. There's nothing. You just go. You just say, I'm going to leave. I'm out of here. I'm coming to Thailand. Just like you used to be able to. Now it's, obviously much different. I don't think that they do, to be honest. I don't think they want this to go on and on and on and on and on. I really don't. They're not that stupid. They know that people are getting pissed off and that they're losing their livelihoods. They already know this. And if you can't provide them with a livelihood, then what does that mean? That means higher crime, that means violence, that means all kinds of things. That's what that translates into. So I really don't see that happening. It might happen, and they might have little pockets of lockdowns and stuff like that, but I don't think it's going to happen in mass. I am from Victoria, Australia, so we know there is a small light at the end of the tunnel. The guy that I was talking to last night, Steve, he's in Australia now as well. And he's fed up with it, and he's like, I don't want to even say anything about the virus now or vaccines because people are sick of it. And I told him what I've said here many times, which is those police really turned me off. When I see that kind of shit going on in Australia, which is a country that I've always admired and loved, and I mean, I knew an Aussie girl back in the United States, and I knew her, I knew her pretty well. And I knew another one that I didn't know as well, and she was cute, man. But She told me she grew up on a goat farm. I was like, what? Or sheep farm, I think that's what it was. But you know, I've always had a good feeling, you know, not like some places in the world where you go, oh, that place, you better be careful if you go there. No, I felt good about Australia. But when I see the cops acting the way they are, I'm like, what's somebody supposed to do? What are you supposed to do if you're standing there and your mask is down to here a little bit because it slipped down, or you just took a breath because you're, you know, 80 years old and you can't breathe, and they run up on you and slam you to the ground? You know. Yeah, I know a couple places from Adelaide. I know one guy who got bit by a brown snake, but I haven't talked to that guy in 20 years. I don't know anything about it, but I'm sure Johnny does. Indoors you have to, what? Indoors you have to wear a mask, but outdoors you don't. So does it matter where you are indoors? I mean, like, you know, I just think it's ludicrous what some people will say. If you're having sex, you need to wear a mask. So she's got to wear a mask, I got to wear a mask. Maybe I should double mask. And by the way, I should probably wear a shield. And, you know, got to wear gloves because you might accidentally touch something, and you're not supposed to be face to face. I mean, what does that leave you with? There's not a whole lot that's going to be much fun. And that's what was said here. It was said by somebody in some doctor. What kind of craziness is that? Indoors as in business places. Gotcha. Hey, Jared. Hello, Jared. Mask in shops, malls, supermarkets. Doggy style wear. Yeah, I mean, what fun is that? Jesus Christ, man. I just think of that and I'm like, if my life ever gets to that point, it's time. It's time to say goodbye. That's what time it is. I don't know what's cracking right now. Shit. A lot's cracking. I just don't know what it is. Yeah, what else? Well, this place is really quiet, okay? It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Damn it, listen to me good. All right, that's from Elton John. You got a guy working here, and there's one other guy. I'm it. That's it. I am it. Oh, fuck. I'm sore. I am sore from exercising. Oh. Yesterday, Singapore had 16 deaths, 15 were vaxxed. 15 were vaxxed, 144 now. That's strange, man. That's pretty strange to me. Generally, I think it's the other way around. 15 are unvaxxed, 1 was vaxxed. Anyway. I think I need a new cushion here. My ass has squashed this cushion to the point where now it's not quite as comfortable as it used to be. Oh, you know what? Let me see something here. If I can find it. Oh, let's see. Let's say 75. What the hell happened? Oh, here we go. Okay, there are 76 votes so far for this vessel name. I shouldn't have put inflatable raft. Vessel. The top dog at the moment is Chowderhead. That's the top name. Number 2 had been Up to You, but now it is the SS Farang. And actually, Nicholas said that that's his favorite, the SS Farang. Number 3 is Up to You. Number 4 is They Call Me Farang. And what is my favorite, one of my favorites at least, is Illogical Logic. Well, thanks for voting, Jared. Illogical Logic. That's only 3%. That was my thing. I was like, wow. I like that one. Anyway, I'm going to put some more names up later today. And just I don't want to get on this too much because I'm exhausted from yesterday. After the stream, I spent all afternoon looking online and doing research and trying to, I forgot about, what is it, Google Earth? I forgot about Google Earth. I was trying to get a satellite image of different areas of Thailand, and it doesn't really help very much. But something that's very important, and I'm going to probably, I think the way that's going to work is in a couple weeks I'm going to Chiang Mai. I'm going to set the trip up. I may even go with my wife, but she's not going to go. I don't think she's going to go down the river with me. I don't really want her to. And I found this, where's it at here? It's an alpaca. Maybe you guys have heard of this. This is what I'm looking at right now. Later, Gator. Hopefully this will work. Yeah, that's the image of this thing. So this is something that I found and I like, but I need to talk to these people. In fact, I have a message that I need to send. I've been drafting it. I need to send it to this rafting place to get a little bit of information before I go up there. And basically I'm not even sure if it's possible to go the whole length of the river or how does it work. And I got to find all these things out. So I'm interested in this, and this is keeping me busy. It's keeping me motivated to do something different. But there's a lot to do, and first step is just to go to some place and get on the river. Well, the first step is to get in a little better shape, which I've been working at. So what do you come? Anyway, let's go on here. We already know the booze ban is lifted. What is this here? New cases in Malaysia, Philippines, and Singapore. Singapore, 16 deaths. Yeah. Malaysia, 95. All right, we don't want to talk about this shit. Hey, here's some good news. The push for Thailand to be medical marijuana hub starts November. It's supposed to be Southeast Asia's world-class medical marijuana hub next month. Anutin Chanwirakun plans to push marijuana as a major industrial crop. I thought all this was going on already. But the medical marijuana thing, that's pretty big. And I don't know any, I think I heard of one foreigner that had a license or had a card or something where they could get treated here. They could get the shit. But I'm not sure if that was true or not. Anyway, I'll get back to that in a second. I want to talk what Johnny just said here. Needs a motor mount. That's one of the things I need to figure out, Johnny. And there's a reason for it. Because if you're on whitewater and you got a motor, it can't be a very heavy motor. You don't see people doing whitewater rafting, you don't see people with rafts that have motors on them on the whitewater. And I think it has to do with the fact that, the motor can get thrown around. If it goes down, it can bang into the bottom of the river. If the river is shallow, I mean, I think there's all kinds of things to consider. I just don't know. That's why, I'm a beginner at this. That's the other thing, is that I'm viewing these trips, and they do have courses. I'm viewing these trips, these upcoming trips, which there should be between 4 and 6 of them. And there may be 1 or 2 runs a day. Yeah, but if I go on the Mekong, I'm going to end up in other countries. I don't want to be in other countries right now. I don't want to have to even think about that, worry about it. I don't want that to be a concern. I could just do the whole Chao Phraya. I don't know. I mean, this is what I mean. I need to find out from some people, not people who are like, well, I went down a couple of rivers with a tour group or whatever. Okay, I know that Jim knows a fair amount about it. And he suggested going down the Kanchanaburi, the Manam Kwai, and because there's resorts along the way. I don't want that. I want middle of the nowhere Mekong shit. That's what I want. But I need to see if it's possible. I need to find out, hey, is this crazier than what I think, or what's the deal? If you're on the Mekong, you have to have I think it's important to have an engine if you're going to go a long ways. If you're not just going in a certain little area where you know it's safe, you damn sure better have a motor. Nakhon Sawan. Yeah, I mean, see, this is what I mean. I'm not looking to change everything up. I know what I want to do. I want to go from the very north down to the Gulf of Thailand. And if that's not possible, then the next one is the Nan River, because the Nan and the Ping converge with the Chao Phraya River. Whichever one is possible. If somebody can find the source of the Congo and go down it in a canoe, I think it's possible to do damn near anything. And there are some very good channels and some I found an Aussie guy. Where's he at? Do I have his page here? Let me see, I think I do, actually. Yeah, here it is right here. This guy did Africa by kayak. He did 2,000 kilometers. Let's go on here. Okay, so the marijuana thing here, let's see here. The health ministry is focusing on expediting policy to allow Thailand to grow and produce cannabis products and globally recognized medicine after medical marijuana clinics launched previously and generated 7 billion baht this year. They hope to push fast industry growth to solidify Thailand as the medical marijuana hub of Southeast Asia, the first country to support it in the region. General population's attitude regarding ganja has softened a bit, even in conservative Thailand, and people are coming around to the benefits of the crop for medicine and for the economy. He believes that the people of Thailand can earn money by accepting and promoting medical tourism to the country. I think he's right. I do think it will happen, but I think it might take a little while. This guy, Bo Miles, is apparently from Australia. I don't remember where exactly. I forget. But anyway, medical marijuana, that's a big one. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, cooperation. Prime Minister wants cooperation. Yeah. Here's something I didn't know. It says Kochang on track for November 11th reopening with sandbox scheme. A Kokut sandbox scheme in the new future also. Anyone, they will have to receive 2 doses of approved vaccine or had negative COVID-19 test results, or, along with a medical certificate, or have to fully recovered from COVID-19 for at least 90 days. I don't know what the hell's going on with this. While Trot is among 17 provinces to be declared blue zones ahead of Thailand's reopening, Kochang is currently the only area of the province to have been given the green light to participate. All right, well, it's a start. Weed would be the best and fastest way to recover the economy. Well, I've been saying that for a long time. Look in the United States, what's going on. They haven't had a problem. Seen a documentary on the source of the Nile River. It's only a small stream, as is the Congo. It's, in fact, you can't even it's a tiny little trickle. You can't just put a boat down and just go down it. You have to walk down it with your vessel, which the one reason that I do like this particular alpaca is that it's very light. It's like 5 pounds. That's it. Extremely light. All right, this is the rules. They're rehearsing for this grand opening. Here's something. Wildlife recovery scene at Khao Yai National Park. I was saying that yesterday. I think there is going to be a recovery of sorts, but who knows? Hopefully they need to. They will have learned their lesson and take better care of their environment. Because if they don't, it's going to go right back to the way it was before. You know, I asked Chucky, let me see here. I asked him to come into the stream. Yeah, I don't know where he is. He may be listening right now, but I asked him to come in, join us, just chatting in the stream, but I don't know what it is. He likes to come into the actual video portion, and I'm not going to do that right now because it's such a pain in the ass to do it. It doesn't always work right. Anyway. Yeah, Fire Dude, is there a 90-day limit on the tourist visa? I think you can get an extension, can't you? Or you can just go outside and then come back. I didn't stay, I think the longest I stayed in Singapore was a month. Anyway, that's about all that's going on here. Not all that much. It's a Saturday, you know? It's Sabai Saturday. That's actually better than Sabbatical. Sabai. Everything's Sabai today. Take it easy. Relax. Chill out. No problem. You have one person here and another two that they look like they're getting ready to leave. Very, very slow here today because it's Sabai Saturday, that's why. Anyway, let me take a look at this here. I want to see something. Anybody recognize this song? It only plays every day. They play in the same tape every day. No pum-pem. No pum-pem. Thank you very much, Chino Chingon. Uy, Chingon. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, Choke B. And don't forget, guys, click that thumbs up. Thumbs up, Bangkok. There you go. That's the name of the new show. Thumbs up, Bangkok. I think that's good. No, I don't need AC to sleep. Name of boat, Piss and Wind. Not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly, Manaj. What the Tun Chow? Whoa. Extension who need to stay beyond the visit penalty. The e-services facility is only applicable east past your ice. My head's getting done in already now. Oh shit, you know what I forgot? Forgot something pretty important here. My old man reading glasses. Yeah, leave a thumbs up if you'd be so kind. I'd appreciate that. We got 33 people right now. We're up to, I don't know, 42 or something. And only 27 thumbs up, so again, it's free. And, you know, you guys are helping me. Like I said, you guys are helping me. This is one of the best months that I've had in years. And you guys have helped me do that. And you guys are the ones who are going to be able to help me facilitate my trips and all that. You're the ones who do it. It's not only me. So I appreciate that. And thank you, Paul T. Hello, this stream looks normal. I have a serious question. Okay, well, you can always ask the question. No problem. No pom-pem. John Lennon Express. I should go to the hardware store. Bet it's busy, crazy busy. It's been shut over 80 days. Plus, everyone has to show their vax status at the door to get in. What happens to all the mongers who really travel to Thailand now? If you have a COVID-19 case in your flight, you are automatically quarantined. That's the way it goes. And it's not, see, here's the thing. It's not only mongers who travel here. There are other people. So, you know, that's something else to consider. You know, you got some old woman who's coming to see her son or her daughter or something like that. Maybe she's coming with her best friend who is also, you know, 70 years old, 80 years old. And they're fine. You know, they got vaccinated and they don't show any signs of it, but somebody else shows signs of it, and technically they're supposed to quarantine. Now, they may allow them to go back home, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I think it's, no, sorry, you need to quarantine. It's what they did before in Phuket. You quarantine. Eventually, those people were allowed to leave, but I don't know at what point they were allowed to leave. In Oz, you have to have a test before you get on a flight. Well, that's how it is in America, and I believe just about anywhere. I mean, you want to get into Thailand, you got to have that test. Then when you get here, you got to have a test. (72 hours) within 72 hours. You have to have that test result. I gotta say that there are more Grab drivers that come in here than customers. Until the afternoon, then it's packed. You can barely find a seat. It's back to being the way that it used to be. If I come there now from UK, I have to quarantine, then pay $22.50 without the jibba jabba. So then don't come. I wouldn't. Well, I already said this, Gennaro, but I guess you weren't in the stream to hear me say this. However, I can understand that, and I will tell you that I don't know one of the guys' names, and the other guy is the male version of beer. So it's beer, the male, and one other male guy. So there are no, the terrible trio is not here. They are not working. None of them are working. So you'd be very unlucky to get it on a flight. Yes, with the government test, you have to quarantine until your tests come back. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. Obviously, they don't, they're, I don't know. Who knows? It's like I already know far more about Starbucks and the Starbucks crew and the crew that used to be here and the crews around the area where some of the places that I've gone for a long time. Like I used to go to the one in Waitangi Hospital quite often because it opened up and I was like, oh, there's a Starbucks here. I don't have to go to the mall. I can just walk across the street because I used to live right across the street. I just walk across the little soy. Boom, go into the hospital, sit down at Starbucks, there it is. I should go over there for old time's sake. What happened to the Swedish guy? Where'd he go? I'd probably only send 4K English spend in 70 days. That's what? Then send 4K English. Okay, 4K. Okay, now I understand. Then 2250 English. It's 2 weeks. I mean, what am I gonna say? That's because. They don't want it to be easy. If it's too easy, people aren't going to do the trips. And then they figure out, well, we'll contain it and we'll control them. You haven't seen Coconut Girl's replacement because I just don't give a shit, to be honest. And also to be equally honest, if I may, which I try to be, it's not like you're missing anything, You're not missing a thing. Looking for answers. My English not good. Okay, well. I already gave you your answer, but in Oz can cost $100 to $300 for travel test, depending on where you go. So it should be hard to replace. I mean, listen, the other one was, she would, I don't even, I have to be careful how I speak, but here, she would be considered a nice, hardworking girl by most people. Like an average Thai girl, polite, cute but not too cute, Nothing that's she's not gonna be gracing the catwalk or anything like that. But the one now, I'll just say, is a few rungs down on the ladder. okay? Trust me on this. You know, most of you guys, it's like you see one that's here in Thailand is a 5 or a 6, and you would have thought that she's an 8 or a 9. You know. Selfie. Selfie problem. Keep it up. I always try to keep it up. Although I don't usually have to try very hard, but it works. But thank you very much, Choke D. Choke D to you, Swedish 1982. And also Chino Chingon. Pebble Dashing. You drink way too much, okay? Angus Young is my real dad, so I'm easy. You're a knucklehead. You're starting to verge on the realm of chowder-headedness. I mean, I like Angus Young, but like I'm not gonna go, Angus Young is my daddy. No, he's not. Somehow I don't think he's your daddy either. What the hell have I started here? Maybe that's the name of the you mouth too much, yeah. I think you can laoทุกวันevery day. You drinking too much every day. I think you don't love me. You love drink whiskey. You love drink apple cider. He's going to take a cider piss right now. What did I do to deserve this? If I believed in God, I would say, God, is this what you had in store for me? But I don't. Would you recommend someone to travel to Thailand now? No, I would not. I would say wait. Honestly, I would say wait until, I don't know if you practice Christmas over there in Sweden. I think you might, but I don't think it's going to stop you from coming here. But I would say at least into the, say, December 10 area on, preferably until after January. You know, there are exceptions, like Chuck, who comes into the stream once in a while. Excuse me, Jesus Christ, man. Like Chuck, he gets his ticket, and it's through airline points, and so he doesn't have to pay for it. And then he just reserves the rooms, and if he's not going to come, he cancels the rooms. He doesn't have to worry about it, or he just doesn't get any rooms at all, and he waits until it gets closer. And he's a couple times, I think it's 2 times already. I don't know, maybe it's only once, but where he was gonna come here, and then he thought, it's just too much of a hassle. It's not the right time. He backed out. What year? Next year. Gennaro, some see me in Singapore. Come see me in Singapore. I only know the good food places. I save all the pooning for Thailand, Manila, and Indo. Singapore too expensive. Here you go. I set you up, Gennaro. In a roundabout way, I'm helping you get laid. That's what I was born to do this. I was born to be the conduit. I was born for you to live vicariously through me. How do you find wearing a mask in the heat? I don't find it because I think it sucks. And most of the time, if I can get away with it, I will not wear it. Like when I go out in front of my house and I'm like, taking the garbage out and stuff like that, I don't wear a fucking mask. Nobody does. I'm only going out in front of my house. Like, if I go for a walk and there's nobody around, I'll have the mask in my hand or on my face and pulled down because it's too damn hot. But if there's a lot of people around, then you just deal with it. You grin and bear it. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Is Indo open? Shit, I can't see. All the ones here are for Thai, PH, Indo anyway, and super expensive. Yeah, there used to be a place, Fire Dude, in the 4 Floors of Horrors. What's that thing called? Ipanema. There's a bunch of Thai girls dancing there. When were you in Indonesia? I think it was about 3 years ago. 4 years ago. I love Indonesia, man. Especially Bali. I really like Bali a lot. Listen, pebble dashing. You don't need all the exclamation points. Calm down. Relax. Sabay sabay. Sabay sabay Saturday. Jayan yen. I can feel your energy. It's coming through. It's like too strong, man. It's that cider, man. It must make you do weird things. Things I don't want to know about. I'll be going to Singapore after Thailand, then to Bali, February, March. I'm just not into Singapore, honestly. I'm not into Singapore. Thanks for being you. Wow, it sounds like, Johnny, I appreciate it, but honestly, thanks for being you. That sounds like something a chick would say to me. Hey, I really like you. Thanks for being you. Thank you very much, Choke D. That's great, man. But that's so funny, man. I think I'm going to go home and tell my wife, honey, I just want to tell you, I love you, and I just want to thank you for being you. My wife would look up at me and go, what the fuck? She'd go, what's wrong with you? Oh, man, that's crazy. No, it's not really friend zone. If it was a female, I don't think it would be, that's not something that would be friend zone. That would be like, I really love you just because you're just you. I love you for you. But for Johnny, thank you. I mean, I know there's only so many things you can write and say and put in there, but thank you very much. I think it's great. Orchard Tower's been there once in 6 years. Scam City. After they had the murder there a while back, it's been cleaned up a bit. That was the place actually where I beat the shit out of two from the middle team. And I was like minding my own freaking business, but I just was not in the mood to be fucked with. And then I was scared shitless because I was like, the Singaporean cops are going to get me and throw me in jail. Oh my God. That was great, man. Now that I look back, that's a great story, You want lady? No, I'm married, I don't really want to. I know, tell your wife. Yeah, but I want if I wanted a woman, I'd want a real woman. I real lady. Up came the skirt, and there's a little bald slit there. And I was a bit shocked. Yeah, I mean, one thing I've never done, Andy, I've never went to the casino. Casinos, I guess. I've never been there, and I don't want to go there. And I know there's some things to do there and everything like that, but, Well, I can't spell, but Elon Coin is up. You're all over the place, dude. What did I just say? What did I just say, Harry Potter? Are you like not listening? What did I just say? Didn't I just say I was married? So, really, in a normal world, married people are generally married because they want to be, not because they have to be. And it doesn't necessarily mean, well, I'm married, so I can still, do whatever I want with anybody else that I want. Obviously, I could, but I don't, and I've made that clear. So, my question for you is, do you like them? And if you do, I ain't judging. But for me, it's like, it's not my gig, man. It's not my thing. I wouldn't have got married if if I was into that kind of thing, I would, I'd own it, I guess. Yeah, okay. You sound like Chuck now. I tell you what, come on over to Thailand and let a few know that you think they're funny, and see how they like it. If they're in a good mood, they'll laugh along with you. If they're in a bad mood, they might just hit you over the head with a shoe. This fucking guy. Oh God. I don't know. I asked him to come into the stream. He might have got pissed off at me. I feel sorry for all the foreigners who have a family or friends in Thailand. It is extremely difficult and expensive to travel there, and that will not change anytime soon, no? Well, I mean, November 1st, they're changing things. All you got to do is pay to get in, pay for your insurance. What's so difficult about it? And pay for your tests. Okay, so if you really want to see your family and you have a little bit of money, you should be able to swing it. At least after November 1st, and maybe in a couple of months. I would say that's going to get easier. So it's not that bad. And there was the Phuket sandbox, which a lot of people use to get in. It's not funny when 4 of them are chasing you. Why would they be chasing you? What I find is if you speak to them with respect, the only ones that will ever give you a hard time are the ones that are out to rob from you. They're out to rob you. And those are the only ones. And when I first got to Thailand, I mean, it's 1995, 1994, 95. You walk down the street, you walk down Sukhumvit Road, and right around Soi 7, Soi 5, Soi 9, there would be some standing around, and one of them would try to start talking to you and kind of walk in front of you. This is their method because they tried it on me several times. They would try to, what the hell's the word I'm looking for? Distract you. They try to distract you. And then in the meantime, there are 2 other people that would come up, and maybe one would try to put their arm on your shoulder, like, oh, honey, and then the other one try to get your wallet. But I didn't like, and I still don't, I don't like people coming up to me, even getting close to me, if I don't know them. And so I used to just go, get the fuck away from me. And I'd be, aggressive. And so almost every time they backed away, which was good. Because I would have went after all of them. If they touched me, I would have went after all of them at the time. They chase you in Chiang Mai, the worst ones on the street, urchins, full bore on hormone pills, think they're Mick Dundee's mom. I don't know. I mean, I got nothing against them. Like I said before, to each his own, however they want to be. Harry Potter, if you like them, I'm not holding it against you. Have at it, buddy. No problem. I got no problem with it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it really, but hey, different strokes for different folks. But when it doesn't matter what they are, if they're trying to rob you or beat you, you got to protect yourself as best as you can. And I mean, what are you gonna do? What's your options? So you got to think about that. What time is it now? We got a little bit of time left. I am not going over 2 hours today because I have been informed by Mr. Chucky I need to be professional and stick to a time schedule and always have that worked out in my head, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to talk about. But, I'm freewheeling, baby. Freestyle. Fly by the seat of my pants. What happened to Gennaro? Doesn't Gennaro want to talk about his, the lady boys he knows over there in L.A.? I got pickpocketed by Limo Bravo in Costa Rica last July. Super aggressive. Yeah, I mean, there's only one thing to do. There's two. Don't put yourself in that position if you can help it at all. Get out of their area. Get out of where they are. Well, there's three things. You get the hell out of there. You don't go there in the first place. You hand them your wallet, or you hand them the money in your wallet and say, here you go. Or you fight. Common. It's tough for you people, for most people. You have to be vaccinated, COVID-19 insurance, have to test yourself every week, have to install an app that monitors you. You don't have to test yourself every week. What's that? That's not true. If you're vaccinated, you don't have to test yourself every week. You have to test yourself before you come in and test yourself when you land. And the app monitors where you go when you check in and when you check out. It is not tracking your every move. So that should be clarified. I never had a problem with Ladyboys until I've seen some of the big shows, the big one in Pattaya. Simon Cabaret. That was the first thing I really did with a chick in Thailand. When I first came here, it was like we went to Pattaya, and I was all goo-goo-eyed. I was like, man, this chick's a babe. And of course, she seemed to like me. Whether it was true or not, I don't know. I always like to think it was, but who knows? And she said, we went dancing one night. Went dancing at some little place and got smashed on tequila. And then one night we went to the cabaret and she was like, oh, you can't even tell. And I go, yes, you can. Some of them you can't tell, but some of them you're like, dude's got a wider back than I do. Bulging biceps, big Adam's apple, and you're like, kind of looks like my friend Joe when he was in the school talent contest, and he shaved, that kind of thing. Decided to dress up as a woman or something, Sometimes sometimes they look feminine, but I find most of the time they don't. You can almost always tell. Yeah, I mean, that's something else. The way they walk, the way they exaggerate the hip movement sometimes. There's all kinds of ways, And I don't really even think about it simply because, I'm not into that shit. I told you guys before, I almost got fooled once. And once I found out, I was very polite. And I said, listen, I didn't know it, but, now I know, but I'm not interested. Cross my heart, all that good stuff. I'm telling you the truth. Why, Daniel? Why? You ask the strangest questions. Does it really matter how many times I've been tested? Or whether or not I need AC to sleep? Does it really matter? What the hell does that matter to you? I'm just curious. Why are you so interested? Jesus Christ. I mean, if you ask me, like, what do you think about Thailand after living there all these years? That's a question I could be like, okay, I can relate to that. Yeah, well, your desire to know does not necessitate my desire to give you an answer. Not to be rude, but you know, some things just are not important. And whether I like to sleep in air conditioning, whether it be air conditioning blowing onto my face or my nutsack or whatever, whether it's, what was the last question you asked me? How many times have I had a COVID? What the fuck does that matter? I bet the mask on the ladyboy helps in disguise. I don't know, because I'm not on the market, you know what I mean? If I was on the market, I would be a little bit worried at times. Hi, Gennaro. Some things are just better left unsaid. Oh, because the COVID test has nanobots and stuff, and China is collecting all the DNA from them. Is that what it is? Yeah, but you know what? I don't care. Doesn't matter to me, really. And like I said, you know, this is the thing. I mean, it's like, people are always like, where'd you meet your wife? Was she a hoe? Was she this? Was she that? Oh, fuck me. You know? But what else I gotta do? I gotta tell you, you know, the size of my nipples, what color they are? I mean, what, you know, it's like, is nothing sacred? Who was this other jackass? Do you like ladyboys? Everybody says that about people in Thailand. You talk, oh, you're in Thailand. Oh, that's where they have those he, she's. Wait a minute, they don't have them in San Francisco? They don't have them anywhere else? I mean, come on. Grow up. Grow up. Use that little thing between your ears. I mean, try to be a little analytical, you know. Actually, if you just look in the... I think the description of my channel, it does say that I got a wife and 2 kids. Give me a little respect, you know. I mean, I know that a lot of guys here, they might go out on the prowl even if they're married, but I don't. I think they mostly like it. Me, so don't go there. Don't even say that word that starts with a U. There you go, Andy. You see? We just scared Andy away. Oh, God. Well, that's, you know, Rob, I'll tell you something. I never gave a shit. Because. That's why. You start talking about that, you are running a risk I don't want any problems, and it's just you don't need to talk about that subject. But there are a lot of people who they think that if you're coming here, it's because you can't get laid. Listen, I got laid. Scotty got laid plenty when I lived in the United States, and I did have a girlfriend. But even before that, I didn't really have all that many. I mean, granted, I was a lot younger. I didn't have the gray beard. I wasn't balding, and I was a lot more fit, and all this other kind of stuff. But I was younger, right? I was like any other guy. Sometimes I, was doing well, and sometimes I wasn't. Sometimes I was in a drought for a girlfriend or a woman or whatever, and sometimes I was like, man, I got too many things going on now. So it wasn't, this conception. There is a preconceived notion that people come here, guys come here because they can't get laid back at home. And I know, like most of my friends, with the exception of maybe one or two of them, out of all the really probably a dozen friends that I have, most of them they had a girlfriend or a wife, or they were perfectly capable of, landing a woman. So, there's all these assumptions, and I don't like assumptions. My Japanese girlfriend told me about the U word in Thailand. I don't hold any judgment on people that go to Thailand. Thailand has good food, and that's all I would think about that. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if there's a lot of things in Thailand to come to, not only the red light districts, or the lady boys or whatever, but when it comes into legalities, we'll say, I don't want to, everybody's got to be legal in order to engage in their activities, and there's no exceptions in my eyes, because I can tell you if somebody did something to one of my kids, male or female, I don't care about the law. When the law stops, then I'll do whatever I have to do, whatever I think is necessary. I would go to Alaska for a man. I heard it's easy to catch one there, more single men. Listen, you're Asian. And I would say I don't really know what you look like all that much, but I'm going to say that your chances would be very high there. I don't think that Chucky goes to Alaska. I've been there twice working, and I worked my ass off, and I can tell you that, and I've told this story before, I stopped in at this place, I think it was King Cove, and it's a processing, they have a processing plant there. And, there's a huge number of people working there, but there are Americanized Filipinos and Thais that they view that as a good place to go, because they go work in the factories and they work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And maybe they're they're making $12 an hour or something like that, but they're working 80 hours a week, so they're making $1,000, like $1,000 a week. They think that's good money, and so they go there. And, that's how they make their money. And I was stuck there waiting for a boat to come in to pick me up. The boat had to come in and do some things, and I was just waiting. I was told I had to wait. And basically, I just sat in my room all day because it was snowing. I went out a couple times to go get food or whatever. But when I did go out, I met a couple of girls from the Philippines. And they were... they were not. I didn't really have a serious girlfriend there then, and I was like, no, I don't think so. But they thought that they were hot shit, and they were like 3s on a scale of 1 to 10. And then I met a couple of Thai women, and I, spoke some Thai, and they were laughing because the Farang speaking Thai, but they were like 2s or 3s. They weren't very attractive. No, I don't know anybody by that name. I mean, it's been many years since I was there, but what I do remember is that, well, they weren't Alaskan, but they were in Alaska. But what I do remember is going to the, I don't know what it was called. It was like a restaurant slash pub. And they had, you're funny, Monash. And they had these nights where people would go and they'd put a little band together or whatever, and they'd sing, and people would dance. They had a little dance floor. I go there, and there was like 15 people in the whole place. And there were a couple of women, and the rest were guys. I was sitting there by myself, and every single guy in the place was gathered around these two girls. And to be honest, should I say it? They were pigs. I mean, they were nasty. These Thai girls. And these guys were acting like they were the most beautiful girls on earth. Man, they were so horny, they would have done anything to get in their pants. And I was like, holy shit, man, I don't want to ever get to this point. You know. You told me the bar chicks are nasty there. Another thing is, before I left for Alaska, I was in Seattle, and I went to some, I don't know if it was a casino or something like that. I can't remember, but or they played like Keno or something like that. I forget what it is. Oh, they were fugly, man. And I went into the place, and I sat down, and the place was completely empty. I mean, there was nobody in there. I go in there, I buy a drink, and I'm like, all right, I'll have a drink. I had gin and tonic. And I see these two girls come in, and they were, I'd say they were 3s or 4s, I mean, not that men rate women, but they were 3s or 4s. And I didn't think much of them, to be honest. And I was thinking about, hey, I got to go and work in a couple of days, and I want to make my way. I want to make enough money and go back to Thailand. That's all I was thinking about. And I'm thinking, man, in Thailand you wouldn't have this kind of shit, And these girls came up to me, and one of them did all the talking, and she said, would you buy me a drink? And I said, no, thank you. I said, no, thank you. Huh? I said, no, thank you. What, are you gay? They asked me, what, are you gay? I said, no, I just don't want to buy you a drink. And I never forget that, because she was so offended that I wouldn't buy her a drink. And she was not attractive at all. And even if she was, I would have been like, I wonder if she's on the game. She's hooking. And they went back down and sat down, and I just remember that all the time. I just remember these girls, and I remembered Alaska. I remember Alaska now. Those two instances made me remember just how desperate some guys are. And I mean, I understand you get it when you're coming here. There's some guys that are like, they wait all year to come here. And I've always told that story about the guy in Phuket who, he came into the bar with his, what happened with him? He was on a motorcycle, he had a motorcycle accident or something. He had like a suitcase and a backpack, and he was going down the road or something. He had an accident. He's all banged up and bleeding and scraped up. He goes into the bar with his suitcase and his luggage to go see his girl. And he's bleeding still, and he's got all his luggage, but he didn't even want to go to the hotel room for fear of, I want to make sure I get my girl tonight. That's desperation, man. Chicks can smell that shit. Just like if, it's ridiculous. Every time I play video poker at the bar, I'd always get hit up. They thought I was a hooker. But I just want to be left alone and play. I hit 2 jackpots, so it's my lucky spot. I don't know, do you look like a hooker? Hard to say. But yeah, I understand. Listen, there's guys who think that a woman goes to a place by herself, she's actually looking for action. She's like, hey, I need a little something. How about what you want? What about what the guy wants, like, hey, honey, you, as they say here, you're not my spec, you know? You don't have my specifications. Something just doesn't do it for me. And I mean, you know, thirsty simps. We used to play Hold'em, Hustler, oh, Gardena. I went to go see a fight in Gardena, and the guy who was the security, he was a big boy. I was telling him, I got my ticket here, I'm just gonna go over there. And he's saying, no, you can't go that way. And I go, yeah, I got my ticket, I'll go over there. And he goes, if you go over there, I'm gonna throw you out of here. And I just went, motherfucker. And I thought, do I wanna like get into a tussle with this guy? And I was like, no, not really. He's about 4 sizes larger than me, and he looked like he would have had some fun. So I was like, I'll go around, you know. That's what I remember about Gardena. What's the best advice for a 3-foot Irish leprechaun on... Oh, God. I don't know, have the ladies use your head as a... what the hell do you call it? As a table for their beer. No, I don't think he was Samoan, but Samoans are another group. You don't want to mess with them, man, on the whole. I think I told the story. I used to train in this gym many years ago, and it was a pain in the ass to get there. It was even far from my house, and it was like one of the closest places. It was called the Long Beach, I wonder if it's still around, Long Beach Kickboxing Gym. And it was full of Cambodians at the time. Yeah, I don't see that it has a... Oh, Long Beach Kickboxing Center. Anaheim Center. I don't know if this is the same one. Oh, Long Beach. Yeah, this is the same one. Holy shit, man. Let me see if I can do something here. It's crazy, man. They're still open after all these years. I'll put the little link up to it if I can. This is the very same gym. It's not going to work for this. Hang on. Don't apologize, Sweden. No apologies necessary. Longhorns likes Long Beach. I think Longhorns is sleeping, isn't he? I don't know. I don't think I've heard from them today. Oh, they're opening up, which means it's at 2 hours. So, hang on 1 second here. If I can do this. Anyway, I don't think it really matters. Anyway, there was a guy there that used to train people. He was a former Olympian. He was a Tongan guy. And, you know, one day they were like, okay, you're ready, get in the, you're ready. I was fit then. He said, you come in and you're going to spar with me today. And his name was Lisi. And I went in there for 9 rounds with that guy, and that was the hardest time I ever had in my life. And I was literally shitting myself. I mean, he seemed like he was huge, and he wasn't that big. He was like 165. I was about 147. I thought he weighed about 250. I mean, and he was good. So, let me see if I can do this here. This is the exact same place. Trip out, man. What is this? Play on words. Wait a minute. I can't. They are making you show your jabbed card in Long Beach now. I can't stand Pattaya. It's good to experience for a week or two and all over, but pie's the best. Okay, I guess. Play on words. It is early. I will improve. After a couple drinks, you'll improve. There's a foul odor in Carson that's lingered onto Long Beach's sulfur. Oh. That sucks. I know that smell, Miso. You're telling me how to properly got me in trouble. I was asked who told me. Yeah, what do you want me to say? So I would say probably it's a good idea not to tell this person about my channel because they're probably gonna. He's an asshole. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You should listen to me. November 4th must show jab card. I don't know what you're talking about. Where, in Long Beach? Or I don't know where you're talking about. Driven by it many times? What? You've driven by the smell or you've driven by the place I'm talking about? Did I ever do any dirt biking? Another really personal question, isn't it? Actually, I did, but I didn't own a dirt bike. My friend owned it that lived behind me. He owned 2 of them, and he had 3 brothers, and I used to go with him and his brothers, and we'd all go out in the back. And I wasn't great on them, but after a while I got, decent. But one time I had a helmet on and I was hauling ass someplace, and I remember going over like a little. It wasn't a ramp, but it was just some dirt that was like a mound, and I flew over the mound, and when I came down, I couldn't slow down, and I went into this ditch, and my head hit the side of the ditch. And the bike, the bike's still running. The front end of the bike is kind of down into the ditch. And I'm like in pain, and I'm going, oh, this sucks. And I got to get the bike out of here. I don't want to get torn up. And then after that, I didn't go quite as crazy, and I didn't really do it as much after that. And then I never owned a bike after that was a dirt bike. I owned street bikes. Heck. Gennaro, they don't even know where it's from. It's crazy. It smelled like that for decades. Flight prices for Thailand dropping, projecting many empty seats. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? And, I try to tell my wife, I go, listen, in that little area there, maybe there's going to be a fair number of people in like Phuket. But in the rest of Thailand, I think it's going to be slow. I think it'll be slow for the first month or so, month and a half. And then it's either going to get better or worse. What are you going to do, All right, I think we have come to the end of another stream. I broke my promise to Chucky. I went over 2 hours again. 6 minutes, so we're going to end it in about 10 minutes, well, 5 minutes or so that I'll say, well, it was only 15 minutes over. I appreciate it, everybody visiting and chatting with me, because today was Sabbatical Saturday. Do me a favor, all you 51 people, if you like this stream, this channel, what I talk about, where I go, what I do, what you see, what you get. Baby, I got it. Click thumbs up. Thumbs up Thailand. And subscribe. I have to say all this shit or nobody ever does it. That's the truth, really. If I don't say anything, people forget. They get caught up in conversation and, people just forget. And I understand, but that's why I'm saying it. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe. Check down the description for all the wonderful, lovely ways you can help support my channel. You can do it through Amazon, which doesn't cost you any money at all. If you're going to buy something off of Amazon, use my link. LA County Health Order requires proof of COVID-19 vaccination at indoor bars, wineries, breweries, and full vaccination. Yeah, I heard all that, and I also heard that the police were like not going to make a big deal about it if people weren't wearing their mask there, and if a place didn't ask the people for their proof of vaccination. But Chucky has told me all about this and how that he got asked in, I think, the local Starbucks. He got asked to show his proof of vaccination the other day, and he was surprised. So, this is going to go on for a while, Thumbs up, thumbs down, don't matter. No thumbs down, whatever, I don't care. 50 thumbs down, 100 thumbs down, up to you. I can't control you, just like you can't control me. Yeah, I think Chuck sent me a video where the sheriff said, we're not gonna go after people who refuse to wear masks. In-N-Out. Yeah, I love In-N-Out. I'll tell you what, I miss In-N-Out burgers. I'd just like to have one. I'd love to have an In-N-Out burger. That was one of the first things when I went to California on a motorcycle ride on a 3-day weekend with my buddy, Bad Ronald. That's what we used to call him, Bad Ronald. Boy, he was as red-haired as you can get, man. He had flaming red hair. When we went out there, he was from California in West Covina, and we went to this In-N-Out. He goes, these are the best burgers. And I loved them. They were awesome. And I miss them. Maybe what I need to do is open up a freaking In-N-Out here in Thailand. In and deeper in. Yeah, I know. Now I'm getting hungry. In-N-Out. That's almost like Sizzler. Okay, Dr. Duke Nukem. Vaccination has zero effect on transmissibility, so requiring vaccine stored has no purpose, proven by multiple studies now. Yeah, I know that, but at least you know that the people going in, if they're going to catch it, that they're vaccinated, and so hopefully you won't die, which means if you did die, the store might be held culpable. You never know. I mean, but, that's why I think that's their justification. I don't know that it's, it's kind of like saying, well, if somebody comes into, I think Bad Ronald would be up for it. Yeah. But if somebody comes into Starbucks and shoots me, you're going to hold Starbucks culpable for allowing me to be murdered? I mean, no. So why would you do it with the freaking virus? Doesn't make sense to me. Secret bomb sauce, fresh cut. Oh, I love their fries. And their shakes were good. I love that stuff, man. It was good stuff. That and, what is it? El Pollo Loco? Is that the one? I think it was El Pollo Loco. The chicken place. Very, very good chicken. They had their horchata. I assume you people know what horchata is. Their horchata was fantastic. I still remember that. Chile relleno burrito, carne asada, tamales. I don't think they had tamales. I got them from the tamale lady. Bad Ronald. Maybe that's what I'll call the boat. Bad Ronald. Well, it's supposed to be the name of a female. So. Oh, yeah, you know what? Before I go, I got to remember this now. I got to write this down because I don't feel like going through all the... Their tortillas are like crepes. Yeah, to be honest, I just remember that I like their food. I don't remember what it tastes like, I mean, to this point, it's been way too long. I used to work in El Monte, and there was all kinds of Mexican joints around, but names for whatever vessel I come up with, which might be a I don't know if it's going to be a kayak, but inflatable raft, whatever it might be. Start throwing out some names real quick. I'm going to just write them down, and then later today I'll throw up some more names for people to choose from. Please. Right now we got, oh shit. Right now we got 44% Chowderhead, 23% SS Farang, 18% Up to You, 12% They Call Me Farang, and 3% Illogical Logic. Yes, I did work in El Monte. This is 77 votes, so throw out a couple more names. We got a few minutes here. Let me know. And yeah, I like the Mipe and Sabai. I don't know about the SS, but okay, same. I like Sabai. The minnow is not gonna work. Sorry, my Tubat Live. We already nixed that yesterday. Same, Sabai, Mipe and Rye. I don't know if that's gonna work. That's a little too boring. What's my favorite dessert? Ooh, that's a good question. The SS Homie? No. That's not gonna work. Might as well call it the Vajayjay. Well, we already have the Chowderhead up, so that's gonna be good enough. I don't wanna add all these acronyms. Jian Yen. Probably ice cream. I don't know. I like tiramisu. Branston Pickle. Payaso. No. Branston Pickle ain't gonna cut it, putty. Panna cotta. Okay, yes, I like that. How about I call it the miso horny? Or miso hungry, miso horny. I don't know. Call my boat that. Call it a boat. If it's a freaking little inflatable canoe. This is bullshit. Yeah, well, and you're gone. I don't care what you think. See you later. Tubuku. Well, that's kind of funny. That's a good one. I tell you what. You guys can tell me how it's bullshit when I go in a couple of weeks on my first trip in many years to go on the river. Yes, he did. It's pretty cool. I'm over them, really. You can think whatever the fuck they want now. Ooh, Max Holiday. Max Holiday and Conor McGregor are supposed to be fighting. In the near future, apparently. Oh, God. You are naming your boat. Well, I don't know if it's going to be a boat. It might be a little inflatable canoe. I don't know. Dallo, you come in at the buzzer. Let me see here. Jesus Christ. There are some extremely mentally ill people on YouTube. That's what I'll tell you. Would Chucky do what? No, Chucky would never do that. Call it the Me So Hungry. No, Chucky is silly, but he doesn't have a mean bone in his body. Oh, the Pinocha, thank you. Proper gypsy man. Well, it seems like, I wouldn't want to get him pissed off at you, but he does seem like a pretty nice guy. Oh, you volunteer. Well, far be it from me to stand in the way of a man volunteering. I mean that. Let's see here. I don't know your budget, but if it were me, I'd look at I did look at a Saturn, but I don't know if that's the same one. And, this is something, listen, this is a ways off, man. I mean, I've already said I need to talk to people. I need to go out there. I need to, I'm always saying that. I need to do this. I need to do that. There's things you have to do. And the first thing is to go out and just, go out and talk to some people and, get myself in better shape again, which I've been working on slowly but surely. Man, places just like all of a sudden got busy. But the other thing is that I need to talk to some of these people who know the rivers because, really know the rivers. They do it, and that is their job. It may work out to where I need somebody to go with me that is a guide. I've already took that into consideration. But one river, you may be able to start at a certain place, and you don't need a motor, or you can use a motor and there won't be any problems doing so. It's smooth sailing the whole way. And then if you start at another place or on another river, it might be too rough. There's too much white water, and I don't know if it's going to be possible to do some of the things that I'm talking about. So that's why I need to, this is a whole process. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. And the only reason I thought of a name is because I've been talking about the names is because people have been bringing it up. Hom for Pattia, Bob, how you doing? Bob, I don't want to make it anything nasty. No paddleboard. Jesus Christ, you're talking about a long distance. You're not talking about something that I can do, like in a day or two. Fucking paddleboard? Jesus Christ, I don't even know if I could stand up on a paddleboard. Ex-military officers about your age. Well, don't get them involved yet, please, because I wanna find some more details out. And going to Chiang Mai is Sawadee Ka. I don't know about that one. It's basic, man. It's real general, You gotta have something with a little character. Chowderhead has character, but it doesn't. People in Thailand don't know what that is. A lot of people that are American or British or whatever, Australian, they don't know what a chowderhead is. Think about this as something, I want to do this right, and I want to do it classy, and I know I get ahead of myself sometimes with certain ventures, but this idea came to me, and this may take a year to put together and to do it right and get everything sorted. Tubuku. Well, I'll put that up. Man Boy. Why not just put Peter Pan? The Peter Pan Express or something. I don't know. Man Boy, that just... No. No. Oh, God, that's funny. All right, anyway. I can't believe the Long Beach kickboxing gym is still open and around. Honk if you're a goose. Got a nice ring to it. Dallow's on the apple cider too now. Honk if you're a goose. It's a little bit long for a little tiny boat. Where's that other one that I saw? Which this is not going to happen, I don't believe, because it's just way too small. Let me see if I can. Oh, this one right here. Let me see here. If you go to the one that's called the Scout, what happened? Oh, error, try again. Oh shit, disconnected, that's why. Oh, so it went through. Call it the Where You. Oh yeah, why don't I just call it the, now, by the way, is a pretty good one. All right, it did go up, sorry, I didn't mean to hit it in there twice. To toss my salad? No. Again, keep it classy, come on. Jesus Christ. Call it the Where You Go. Now, one thing that I'm going to try to do is get myself a GoPro before I go to Chiang Mai. GoPro 9, GoPro 10, I'm not sure, but I should be able to do it. And then that way I can record and I don't have to worry about my phone or my camera getting wet and is it going to be stable and all this other kind of shit. So the guy you blocked is the last is the idiot. Why does he spend so much time on me? Because he's a little fucking girl who can't stand that somebody doesn't love him, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't really care. You know, at one time I did care. And I admit that, and I let it get to me. I still like the Scott Mallon Drifter. That's all right, actually. How about the Mallon Drifter? Or, yeah, I don't know how you could word that. And then if you got a motor, you can't really call it the Drifter. No, I don't think it's him. I don't think it's him. I think that guy, he doesn't want any problems. He didn't want any problems. I think he's just having a good time or whatever. I think this is somebody else, and I'm not going to get into it, but all I'm going to say is that at one point I really cared about what other people thought about me and my channel, and now I don't really give a shit. Do what you gotta do. Be how you want to be. I don't really care. Fucking A, man. I already said it. Jai D, I think I said Jai D yesterday or something. I don't know. But that's another one. It's almost too plain, you know. I subscribe to him and it seems like he trolls people and is obnoxious. Yeah, you know why? Because he can't come here. And he'll never come here and talk to me. I'll guarantee you that. Oh, if you mean the other guy, you know, whatever. You know, he was very nice to me and cordial to me when he came that one day, although he was a bit loud. But that happens, and I mean, I know I can be loud sometimes. But there were no problems when he came. He didn't want any problems with me, and quite frankly, I don't want any problems with anybody. Yeah, this is the thing. This is why I don't watch. This is why I don't watch other Thai vloggers. First of all, because well, I'm not even doing any of them anymore because I don't want to. I don't even care. It's like any publicity is good publicity. I mean, technically, I'm banned from Starbucks. Right. Sure I am. Yeah, but me so hungry, I'm not going to make a big deal about that. Again, I don't really give a shit, It doesn't really matter to me. At the end of the day, it's nice I stream, Hang on a second. Help, I can't swim. 1 second. You'd be surprised at how many weirdos there are out there. There's many, many weirdos. And, somebody comes in here and shoots me or kills me, then c'est la vie, whatever. I can't spend all my time worrying about that shit. There's other things to do, Yeah, I did say that yesterday, but I haven't put it up there. That's not a bad one, I mean, it's a little play on the whole Thai thing, like tiger or whatever, Thai-tastic or whatever it might be. So, anyway, that's it. It's perfect. We'll see, Gennaro. We'll see. All right, we'll see. Good fun. Good fun. Good fun. Namjai. No. And no Baba Bobo, no Ting Tong, none of this stupid shit. I might have to come up with a word in Thai that Thais will find really interesting, that I use that word, and foreigners will go, when they see the English translation, will go, oh, wow, cool. But, like I said, we got a ways off. I mean, I figure I have been looking, and if I could find something used, that'd be great. But if I can't, and I have to import something, how about Scott's floaters? The floaters. It just doesn't come off the right way, Bob. It might take about 6 weeks to 2 months to have something imported, and then to clear customs and take care of the duties and all that other kind of stuff. It just depends. So, I want to talk to people. That's the thing. First of all, just be guaranteed one thing. I'll be doing some river trips. You follow me, you see some river trips, you see some things going on. It'd be a little bit different. It's my version of riding a motorcycle around Thailand or whatever, or walking Thailand, which obviously I'm not going to be doing that. Some of these they're not going to cut it, guys. I'm sorry to say. But anyway, I better go. All right, I got shit to do. It's been too damn long. Chucky's going to yell at me. You're being unprofessional. You didn't stick to the time frame. Anyway, thank you very much. And I will see you guys soon. Talk to you guys soon. Appreciate it. Click it. I like, for a show name, I like Thumbs Up Thailand. I do like that. Or They Call Me Farang. I like that as well. But thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. click thumbs up, subscribe, check the description, yada, yada, yada. That's all I have, and hope all you guys are well. And I'll talk to you guys later, all right? Adios.